So we'll do a short drafting guide for people who won't see it. So those were my last 7 games of the season. And then I gave away a few points because why not? Because yeah, I was way too. I mean, there's no point in being that high, right? So, anyway. So first one. Okay, so first of all, let's go over bans. So assuming you played turn 2, I think end guy is a must ban. I know it's gonna sound weird, but I think if your opponent is any good at the game and you don't pre-ban end guy, you're dead. Yeah, there's just no way around it. I think you're dead. Because, okay, so for instance, here, that's the main draft everyone's been doing, right? So, if you've seen top 3 play, or like everyone pretty high was playing one very particular draft, which was either Silias or Lua first pick, depending on pre-ban. So Silias Lua, plus Ngai, plus Apoc. And then if you play slow, you cannot win. Like, I'm not exaggerating. Here you can't win. Like, you absolutely cannot win. It's impossible to win to this draft. Because the counterplay to like Silias and Apoc and like aggro in general right now, good units into them are Senya, Karina, and Ed. Like, you're gonna draft Senya, Karina, Ed a shit ton of times, and all are really good units, but one thing they have, like one issue they have, is that they can kill they can kill Apoc if she has immunity, basically. So if your opponent has a guy, then you just lose. Like, that's basically it, you just lose. Now, you might think that banning Ngai, like, Ngai obviously isn't the only immunity buffer in the game, which is true. But he's by far the best. Like, it's not even close. Everything else is bad compared to Ngai. Like, if your opponent pick DJB, he's garbage. He's garbage. DJB is trash. DJB, like, the thing is, if my opponent goes like Silias DJB, he has no juice. Like, he has no juice whatsoever, right? What's he gonna, like, he has 2 non-carry units, he doesn't have an attack buffer, and if Silias brings DJB on duel, she basically loses an entire turn. Like, he only gets 2 more picks, right? And like, Silias DJB, really bad. DJB isn't an issue. Like, DJB isn't an issue at all. And guy is. DJB is very whatever. So yeah, pre-banning and guy is extremely important because you want to be able to pick Senya and you want to be able to pick Karina. And you can't really pick those. Wait, maybe I should lower my camera a bit down. Yeah, Diane actually, I fought a few Diane, but the same issue. Diane isn't that good. Like, Diane compared to N guy is really fucking bad. And like, okay. For instance, let's say someone, like a draft like this here. Wait, do you have others? No. When everyone was hinting, but whatever. Let's say he goes for like Strays Briseria for last, right? Like, let's say he wants Diane, and like he goes Strays Briseria here. Something like that, right? I can actually pick, even as a slow player, assuming I have like 260... Assuming you have like 260 Solitaria, which isn't really that high, let's be honest. Not really that hard to make. You can force a ban with Solitaria. Like, you can force a ban with any fast unit. With any debuffer, because most of the other, like something like Diane, she can't really keep up with debuffs, right? So, yep. And guy, he shuts down way too many peaks. Like, he shuts down way too many peaks, basically. So, yeah. Like, pre-banning and guy is extremely important, in my opinion. And you can't even pick him yourself, because if you do, you're just gonna get run over. Like, assuming your opponents want to play aggro, and you want to play slow, if you first pick and guy, yeah, you're gonna die. You're not gonna have a good time. So here, for instance, Okay, now let's finish on bans first, sorry. This isn't very well organized, but hopefully it's fine. So bans, I think banning and guy is very important. And then you have multiple options. I think Briseria is an okay ban. Like, because she can be a pain in the ass. Briseria, Lua, AOL, and Spectre Tenebria. I think those are the 4 bans you can go. Oh, and Cilias. So yeah, those 5 are your options, basically. Those 5 are your main options for last ban. But I think pre-banning and guy is really important. Like, honestly, I was losing a lot on the last couple days because I wasn't pre-banning and guy. And I really think he's an issue right now if you want to play slow. And like, people didn't really realize it until the last couple days. Because, I mean, so it is. But like, I faced Lunal and like Aether Balls, and they instantly just picked and guy against me. And then you just lose on the spot because, well, every single anti-aggro unit dies to N-Guy, so yep. So yeah, I think pre-banning N-Guy is a very good option. I think it helps a lot. And then for last, yeah, Lua, AOL, Spectre, Cilias, Briseria, one of those 5. Whichever you prefer. If you don't play IER units, like every single of my units have ER. Except for a few, but I don't really draft them anymore because of that. If you don't play IER units, I think pre-banning Briseria has a lot of value. Because like, one thing with my account, here I don't give a fuck about Briseria. She's gonna S3, and then what? Like, nothing's gonna get debuffed, right? So... I don't care. She can S3 if she wants. And again, if he had N-Guy here, Briseria would have been a lot scarier, right? Because she would have had attack buff, but now she doesn't have attack buff, so I don't really care. I just don't really care. Like, no attack buff Briseria, S3 into IER team, it's just like 5k damage per unit, like who cares? It's not even 5k actually, I think it's even less, so yeah, who cares? I actually use this as fuck. So yeah, those are for pre-bans. Now for pick order, how do we address this? Because it depends a lot on what your opponents draft, right? So let's do a short draft review. So here, first pick, you always want something somewhat neutral that doesn't really commit you to anything, right? If you play slow, if you play fast, it's different. If you play fast, you can go really aggressive from the get-go. But if I'm playing slow, so I can't do that. Like, for instance, if I were to first pick Cilias here, knowing that I'm slow, I would get run over. Yeah, I would just get run over. Like, if you really just goes for something like run or N-Guy, right? And then plays really aggressive, I'm basically -1 unit because my Cilias S3 will be useless. And she won't really do anything, right? Like, she's just gonna give me a duel, but that's it. I'm basically playing 3v4. Shouldn't SSV die pretty fast to Briseria? She lived actually quite well, honestly. Because you have to remember, I have a shit ton of barriers, right? So if she gets hit too much, I have this barrier, I have this barrier. She gets to heal here. So I feel like it's okay. So anyway, I start with Maid because it's a fairly non-committal pick, right? You can start with Maid, you can start with a Knight, you can start with Destina, you can start... Again, N-Guy, he's a good pick, but he's gonna... If your opponent plays aggressive, it's gonna be really rough, so I don't think it's a very good pick if you play turn 2. Like, I think for turn 2, you want to either first pick a Knight or first pick a Soul Weaver. Soul Weavers, only 2 are really good right now, so Maid and Destina. Either work, honestly. I just pick Maid because she fits my playstyle more. Because all of my units are VR, so yeah. It helps a lot to have 50 more. So first pick Maid, fairly non-committal. AB goes for Cilias Apoc, which is... If N-Guy wasn't pre-banned, it'd go for Cilias N-Guy and I would have lost already. So that's a good thing. That's a good thing for me, right? And so yeah, Cilias Apoc, which means he's probably gonna play aggro. And like, both are really weak to Senya, right? So I'll just go for mitigation plus Senya. Fairly safe, fairly non-committal as well. Senya doesn't really have any hard counters, honestly. She's fairly safe unit to pick. And she's a debuffer. That's one thing to remember about her. She has an actual debuffer. Like if your opponent doesn't pick a cleanser or an immunity buffer into Senya, she's gonna lock the entire team. So yeah, she's an unit that requires answer, and that forces your opponent to slow down to some extent. So that's for 1-3. Now he has 2 units. He sees me picking Senya, so she requires an answer. He goes for LRK because then guy is pre-banned again. He could go for DJB, could go for whatever. But again, you don't have that many options with N-Guy pre-ban, right? So for immunity buffers, you have DJB, N-Guy, DJB, LRK, I guess, and that's about it. So yeah, goes for LRK because it's more aggressive than DJB, and DJB is a pretty. I don't feel like it's a really good unit overall. But yeah, he goes for LRK and Briseria to counter Mahe to some extent. But he doesn't have a book, so Briseria isn't really an issue for me here. Like, he has 4 picks already, no book, so Briseria can do whatever, right? Doesn't really matter that much. So I answer with more anti-aggro here, with Karina, who's insane. Like, she can defense break, she can do a lot of damage. And she gives me a lot of tempo, because if he gets something else slow, she's gonna give my team a huge shield, right? So I am banning AOL, I hate AOL. I'm not playing into this unit. Fuck this unit. Like, I refuse to play into AOL. Views on Emilia plus LQC into this comp from maybe. Emilia LQC is really good, right? I think Emilia is really good. Emilia LQC is really good. I'm not sure it'd be good here though. Like, I think if you have made already, I'm not sure it's really good. Because what if your opponent goes for like Politis, right? Then it's kind of a pain. If you banned SSV instead, did you have any worries about finishing off APOC with just Senya and Karina? No, none at all. Like, both of those units can solo kill APOC. So none at all. Both of those units I'm confident can solo kill APOC. So I'm all good. And LRK doesn't cycle immunity fast enough to keep up with my debuffs, so it's all good. So yeah, I have 3 units, he has 4. I'm not worried about Briseria. LRK can do whatever. It's still an aggressive team, doesn't have that much juice, right? Like, Briseria is gonna 3 once, do nothing. LRK is gonna 3 once, do nothing. Silas has decent juice, but her dual options are fairly limited, right? LRK dual is very bad. Her dual is okay, but not insane without attack buff. And so it's mostly APOC. Like, it's not that bad, I'm fairly tanky, I'm okay. So just go for Karina for tempo and for defense break. And SSV because he's low on tempo, right? Like, he can remove, so look, assuming he has 1 first turn, right? He has 1 first turn onto her. I lose 1 stack, I still have 2 more. S3, I lose 1 stack, still have 1 more. S3, lose 1 stack, still have 1, I have no more stacks left. But then I have a shield from Karina, so I feel like I'm safe, right? I feel like it's somewhat safe overall. And plus, if my team takes turn before his, then I can recover stack fairly fast. Seed was the biggest problem for the... Yeah, Seed APOC can be a pain, yes. But yeah, I know, I don't see it that much, honestly, and it's getting nerfed, so... I feel like it's okay. And yeah, Solitaria, if he bans Maid... Like, even if he doesn't ban Maid, actually I have SSV, so it's a force ban, so yeah, good force ban here. But overall, his team was kinda just lacking juice, basically. LRK isn't really good out of a unit, which is kinda sad, but yeah, LRK isn't really good. And Briseria, if you have ER on your unit, she isn't really that good either. Like, she has 3 and then she does nothing, right? So, yep. Alright, next game, Watch Room. Yeah, a pre-ban Maid, which is a pain in my ass for me. It's a pain in the ass for me, but that's okay. So let's see. I don't think you should first pick Spectre here. I think first picking Spectre was a mistake for me. Like, I fell back into all the beats, but I don't think it's good. First picking Spectre, is way too easy to cleave. First pick Spectre is way too easy to cleave, I feel, so I think here I should have first pick Destina. Because you only really have two good Soul Weavers right now, which are Maid and Destina. I think Emilia is okay too, but you need to be willing to play more aggressive, which doesn't really fit my playstyle, right? Is this the last battle of last season? Yeah, those are my last 7 games of last season. Yeah, if Maid is gone, you want to first pick Destina, exactly. So I think it was a mistake, but it went out okay. It turned out okay, but yeah. So, first pick Spectre, because Belayan is pre-ban, I think should be Destina, but whatever. So he answers with Destina, obviously, because not many options left, right? Maid is pre-ban, and Guy is pre-ban, so he answers with Destina Ras. Ras is pretty good here, because Belayan is pre-ban. He's really bad into Belayan, but with Belayan guns kinda whatever, right? And he's weak to Shu, but he has Destina, so... Destina is really good into Shu, so it's pretty fine overall. Fairly neutral pick still, so I have to commit to something. Having no Soul Weavers left, I go for Ruana Solitaria, which is kind of a weird option, but I feel like it's kinda okay overall. Like, one of the main issues with picking Solitaria early is that you die to Ruana. Like, she's pretty bad into Ruana, right? But I had no Soul Weavers left, so I felt like Ruana Solitaria is pretty okay here, right? Like, it's not bad, it's fairly fine. Then he goes Lendy Charlotte to... I don't know why, honestly. I mean, I guess it makes sense. When you pick RGB, when you play standard and you pick RGB, you want to pick them by pair. Like, you want to pick red and green, or like green and red. I mean, yeah. Red and blue, green and blue, stuff like that. Like, you always want to pair your RGB. To reach your Spectre. Oh, yeah, that's true. But he's kind of weak to Solitaria, though. But yeah, so he picks Reach for Spectre, which is kind of scary, but he's weak to Solitaria for now. Like, Destina isn't that good into Solitaria, right? She's fine, but she isn't insane. So for now, I feel like I'm okay. My Solitaria is pretty tanky too. My Destina... Jesus, sorry. My Spectre is fairly tanky too, so I'm not that scared. Like, I can tank for a few rounds. And she has no attack buff, so... I feel okay. I go for Arya because... Honestly, even if Lendy is here, I feel like she's a lot of tempo for me. She gives me a shield, she gives me stealth, so I get to be really tanky for a turn. And she's always gonna proc at least one S2, because Charlotte is forced to press S1, right? Like, he's forced to AoE, so I feel like this is okay. And both, like, 2 of her hardest counters are pre-banned. So yeah, I feel somewhat safe picking Arya here, because she's kinda annoying, and she's always gonna get me value no matter what. And then I go for Milim because she's really good into Lendy. So simple as that. She isn't bad into Charlotte, she's really good into Milim, into Lendy. And she's okay into Ras, and she's okay into Destina. So Milim makes sense. Yeah, Milim makes sense here, right? And then he goes... Yeah, that's a bad pick, I feel like. Like, rule of thumb, if your opponent doesn't ban your last pick, it's a bad last pick. Basically... If your opponent doesn't ban your last pick, it's a bad last pick. He picked Rimuru, which is okay, but then it's... I mean, yeah, Rimuru is really weak to Solitaria. So now he had to post-ban Solitaria no matter what, right? Like, he has to post-ban Solitaria no matter what, otherwise he just lose. But yeah, he didn't. So... And he got scared of Milim because he had 2 green. So yeah. Like, it's kind of rough the way he drafted. He drafted... By drafting 2 green, like, he had 3 green here, basically. He drafted 3 green into Milim, which means she can 1v4 this team. Like, if I ban Charlotte, she 1v4 this team. And if I ban Destina, Solitaria 1v4 this team. So yeah. Rimuru kinda bad pick here overall. That's basically the issue. But I think what you should have done here is you post-ban Solitaria, and then you dual turn 1 with Ras into Milim and pray that you kill, basically. Because you can defense break, right? So it's not that bad. I feel like it's a decent gamble to take. Yeah, I feel like it's a decent gamble to take. Plus, you can make your... Maybe your Rimuru is gonna lap, right? And like, if Rimuru takes a turn, you can just kill me him as well, so... I feel like it's okay. I feel like if he bans Solitaria, he has a decent, very decent shot at winning. So it was probably... I feel like it came down to bans here. Yeah. Ace Trainer. DDR Solitaria, let's go. So first pick non-committal as usual. He does the same, he picked DJB. I don't think DJB is really good here, but I mean, why not? I think he mostly wants to set up for me to... He wants to set up to deny me the pick here. Because DJB is fairly annoying if you play solid DDR, right? So he picked DJB, so I can pick him. So it makes sense to some extent. So yeah, ROL plus DJB denies me DJB pick, and fairly non-committal. I have third pick, so I'm forced to commit to something. I go for Belayan, because everything kinda blows here, honestly. But I feel like Belayan is probably one of the least bad units as third pick, so I go for Belayan. And then he goes Solid DDR, so now everything's going to shit. Because, yeah, Solid DDR is really hard to beat. You go counter or injury? I go counter. I don't like injury Belayan. Artist counter is yeah, no one picks Taiyu, but I think it's pretty good. I think it's pretty good overall. Where Alencia second pick, I know, right? But yeah, so he goes for Solid DDR, which is really, really annoying to face. But one thing with Solid DDR, you don't really need that many supports. Like, Solid DDR is fairly self-sufficient. You don't really need a knight, you don't really need a Soul Weaver. You can pick one, don't get me wrong, like it's fine to have a knight, it's fine to have a Soul Weaver, but having both, I feel like it's too much. Like the thing with Solid DDR, that it forces your opponent into committing to hard counters. Like, you see Solid DDR, you kind of have to go for Head LHC, right? You don't really have many other options. You have to go for Head LHC and probably Dilibet as well. Like, those are your best options. And those are okay units, like they're pretty good overall. But then if your opponent picks something like MLV, something like DC, something like Eula, something like Crow, then you're dead, right? Because you can't kill them. Like, Crow is gonna kill your head, or it's gonna kill your LHC, and you can't do anything about it. Same for Eula, same for DC, and like, you can't reach MLV either, and MLV can one-tap head and one-tap LHC. So, yep. But here, because he already picked two supports, he can't do that at all. So I'm fairly safe to just ban last pick and pick LHC, which I did, and yeah, I won. Yeah, that's it. I usually did MLV plus DC as my last two. Yeah, that's what you pick, right? Like, it's fairly... Have you tried Dilibet into Solid DDR at all? Yeah, it's extremely good. I have a few wins with Dilibet into... Like, your best pick into Solid DDR are Ed, LHC, Dilibet. Everything else kinda air. But those are your best three picks, and then immunity buffers, right? So DJB is okay, he isn't insane, but he's okay, and Guy. And Guy is probably the best. Not Juana. I don't like Juana that much. Honestly, I don't think Juana is that good, because she doesn't cleanse. So you basically have a... she doesn't even give you that much tempo, right? Like, dealing doesn't really matter, because you die to debuffs, not damage. And she doesn't give you that much tempo. Like, she gives you tempo on Solitaria's turns. Like, 2 out of 3 Solitaria turns, that's it. And the rest of the time, doesn't do anything. If you take Juana, you can ban DDR. Yeah, but let's say I pick Juana, right? And they go for, like, DC MLV. What does my Juana do? She can prevent MLV from one-tapping. She can prevent my team from getting debuffed. And she can prevent my team from... She doesn't prevent anything, basically, right? That's the issue. She doesn't really prevent anything. Like, I like Rona a lot, but I feel like into DDR Soli, she isn't that good. But yeah, that's the draft. Basically, I feel like DDR Soli is extremely strong, but you need to pick it here. Like, no joke. I saw Nico play the last few days, and a very, very easy. I mean, it's not that easy because you still need to draft correctly and you still need a decent unit pool. But when you see your opponent first pick Maid, or first pick ROL, or first pick Destina, or first pick Eula, like anytime you see your opponent first pick something really slow, you go solid ER 1-2. Like, no joke, you go solid ER 1-2, and then you win. It's extremely, extremely hard to answer. And it's gonna be even harder to answer with a win buff. Because now, assuming I pick Ed, he pick a win, what do I do, right? I pick Ed, he pick a win, he presses 3, my entire team is stunned, and defense broken for 2 turns. So, yeah. Anyway, that's a pick order issue, I feel like. It just be, yeah, like, those 2 units don't do anything. So, you need Solitaria DDR 1-2. And then you would have won. Alright, next. What the fuck is that draft? What the fuck? Okay, so my opponent first pick a pop, which is bad, but whatever. So he first pick a pop, which is bad. I answer with Maid plus ROL because one thing with Knight selection right now, Thiermin dies to APOC but wins versus Lendy. ROL wins versus APOC but dies versus Lendy. So he picks APOC, so I pick ROL because she's really good into her. He answers with DJB Solitaria, which means he's gonna have no juice whatsoever because yeah, he has 2 supports and APOC. So very, very weird draft already. I answer with LQC because yeah, she's really good into APOC, and Milim is fairly. She's fairly neutral in a way. Like, she doesn't really care that much. Even assuming he picks through here, right? Which is probably the best unit into Milim. I just stun her, so I don't care that much. Yeah, Milim's fairly neutral, and I have LQC to kill APOC. He answers with Pirate Flan and this thing, Lua. But his Lua doesn't have books, so she isn't that scary. Like, she isn't that scary. Pirate Flan is, but this is kinda whatever, right? So I pick something that doesn't care about getting reset. So Lendy here. And then I just ban Pirate Flan. And he has no juice whatsoever. Like, his only carry is this thing. She's not gonna do enough. I don't know. Like, that's it, right? Like, she just doesn't really do enough. She can't really kill Milim, she can't really kill LQC, she doesn't have juice, so yep. I'm just a pretty bad draft overall for my opponent. Hey, what's up, Tony? How you doing? DJB, yeah, like, makes no sense whatsoever. This is a pretty bad draft. So yeah, not much to say about it, sadly. Next, okay, Lua first picks, pretty interesting. So again, open with something neutral, open with Maid. Lua plus Karina. So I assume this guy doesn't want me to pick Karina, right? Like, that's the main reason you'd pick her here. Okay. I don't think it's very good, but okay. So plus Belen isn't pre-ban, so I'm not that scared of Lua. I'm not that scared of Karina. I go Senya. I go Senya Xiaomi. Again, I just want mitigation. Xiaomi, she doesn't really care about being reset. She's still good here. If you have Eton, pick Eton here. Like, Eton is really good into Lua because he's the knight that cares the least about being reset, right? So if you have Eton, you pick Eton. I don't have Mind Gear, so I pick Xiaomin. I pick Senya because it's 2 blue and she works even if she's reset. Like, she's still really tanky, she's still here, she can still provoke. She can lap to an like, eventually she's gonna get to Princess 3 because this thing won't take. He won't get to S3 twice before Senya takes 2 turns. Usually, at least. So it's fairly safe. I just pick Senya. Pretty bad answers for my opponent. I don't care for Briseria here. She has no attack buff, she has no vigor buff. I have ER on everything, I don't really care, she doesn't do anything. She does a Princess 3, do 10k damage, AoE, and that's it. Yeah. She's not like 2-3k per unit, it's not nearly enough, she doesn't have enough impact, so. Briseria, fairly bad pick. Especially because Belian is on pre-ban, right? So let's say he goes for like this thing plus a book. Might have been fairly annoying, but it doesn't, so. Yeah, this is okay. And Ed, which is... Ed isn't that good into Senia overall. Briseria, fairly bad pick because I have ER on everything, and Ed doesn't really kill Senia, honestly. Like, he's okay into Senia, don't get me wrong, he isn't that bad, but he isn't that great either. Like, Senia is gonna miss half the time on him, so she's not gonna progress too. And he doesn't really kill her all that well, it's fairly RNG. I have 2 picks left, so... For picking LHC a lot more than I did in the end. Yeah, depending on my... But it's because my opponent drafted really weird, right? Like, they pick Ed here, so... They have no threat. Like, they have Karina into this thing, no damage. Karina into... They have no threat, man, I don't know. Like, it's 4 versus 3 right now, right? So what do I need to answer? Briseria, non-threat, non-issue. Briseria, non-issue. Lua, non-issue. Karina, non-issue. I just need to answer Ed, and I have two picks left, right? So, assuming you have Shu here, you can pick Shu, she's really good. But mine isn't geared, so I don't pick Shu. Instead I go for Belayan, which she's really tanky. She's really tanky, she denies sword, she doesn't care about being reset, so I feel like she's okay. And then something else doesn't care about being reset and is really tanky, so LHC. It's over, right? Like, I can't lose from this position, so. Briseria was a bad pick, Karina was a bad pick. Yeah, that's it for this draft. Next, I have 2 more. Okay, this guy, first pick, okay. So, one of the reasons I first pick Maid right now, over, like, I used to first pick Knights, right? But the reason I first pick Maid right now is because if I first pick Xiaomin, and my opponent goes Arwell plus Maid, it's a massive pain in the ass. It's a massive pain in the ass because Arwell Maid, like, one of the counter to Arwell, if you play slow, is to pick Maid with IR units. But if I first pick Xiaomin, they can just go Arwell Maid, right? So instead I just first pick Maid, and then if they go Arwell, I don't care that much. So here, first pick Arwell, finally non-committal, I go Xiaomin plus Maid. So with Imprints and Shimadra and everything, my entire team is gonna have plus 70 ER. So pretty good. Then Destina, Adin. Adin is pretty bad into standard, honestly. Like, she's a good unit, but she's pretty bad if your opponent plays standard, so it doesn't make a lot of sense. I just go Milim, Lendi, both hard counter her. Both are really good into everything here. And then, like, now they're on the back foot, right? Like, I have 3 picks, I have 4. But those 3 picks add loose to everything I picked right now. So, kinda awkward, I need to answer that. Belen's a fairly common answer to Lendi Milim, but my Milim is on lifesteal and she's on Knuckle, so I don't really care. I actually don't care at all. And my Lendi doesn't care that much either, she's fairly tanky, so. Belian, kinda whatever. A-Win. I don't know why, honestly. I don't know. I know why A-Win. I mean, sure there was an explanation, but I have no idea. I don't know, man. So I win last week, I leave it through because yeah, I don't care. I don't care. I just banned Destina to make the game end faster, basically. And yeah. Arya last pick, Arya's really good. I have enough. I'm confident enough in my yard, in my area, that I can pick her into Arwell because she's 150 ER. So with Maiden CR means she's like 220, right? So I feel like it's enough. Destina, she can be a pain, but I have enough juice already, so it doesn't really matter all that much. I have another carry. Adin, she doesn't really do anything to Arya. Belian, she's extremely weak to Arya, and I win. I know, man. I win. I don't understand. Yeah, this is basically 3v4. So yeah, last one. Okay, so first pick mate as usual, right? You first pick mate Destina or Knight. He goes Lua ROL, which I think is really bad. He prevents Belayan, right? So if you see he wants to pick Spectre. One of the best pairing with Lua is Spectre. So he picks Lua, but then he doesn't pick Spectre. And even worse, it slows down. Like, okay, Lua is a very good unit, but she's a tempo unit. She gives you a lot of tempo from turn 1, and then you need to take advantage of that to run down your opponent. And Knights are basically anti-tempo unit. Like, Knights don't really do anything, right? They give you mitigation, they're nice to have, but they don't really do anything on their own. He picks a Knight with it, so... yeah. So he picks Lua plus ROL, which is pretty bad overall. I answer with Spectre, because Spectre is insane into Lua, right? Like, for multiple reasons. She denies the pick, which is already fairly valuable. She denies the pick, which is really good. And she doesn't care about reset at all. So she's really good into Lua. And she's really good into ROL, because she can get targeted, right? So, Spectre, I have my carry already. I pick a Knight as usual. So I go for Searmin here. Again, if you have Eton, I think Eton is better, but whatever. Searmin is fine. He answers by going back to being fast with Trace plus Briseria. So now he has 3 debuffers, right? 1, 2, 3, and a Stray. Even if everything goes through, he can't kill Ed. He can't kill Ed at all. Like, if Ed gets a single turn, he's gonna one-tap Strays, and Stray doesn't have enough juice to kill Ed, right? So Ed can 1v4 here. Ed can 1v4, and then I have 2 carries that can 1v4 easily. So I just need more mitigation, right? Because assuming I pick another carry instead of Trozet here, it's gonna ban my mitigation, it's gonna press 3 with Stray, it's gonna kill my Ed because he's highest HP, and then I lose. So. And my Spectre will die to AoE as well. So just pick another mitigation, it's a force ban, because yeah, like he can go through here. He can go through my team, and I have 2 carries at 1v9, so. What do you do if enemy pre-ban Belayan, any, and they pick stuff like Lua, Briseria plus Mage? You go Ed. You go Ed, basically. So, speaking of Ed, Ed is an extremely good unit right now, but I feel like some people draft him fairly poorly, and like myself, I draft him fairly poorly myself at times. Ed is really good into Lua, into Spectre to some extent, into Silias, and into Briseria. But against Lua and Silias, is only good if your opponent picks AoE. That's one thing you have to keep in mind. If your opponent picks Silias or Lua, you can just slam Ed, because if they just go for single target, you're 3v4. That's one thing to remember, you're gonna be 3v4. So you need to keep Ed for a late pick. So for instance, my opponent goes Silias, APOC. I won't pick Ed, like AB, right? Silias, APOC. I do not pick Ed, I pick Senya. Senya is okay into both. And she's a very good neutral pick to some extent. If I pick Ed here, it just goes for more single target. I'm 3v4, doesn't work. Instead I pick Senya. And then, if he commits to like something like Lendy here, like he went for LRK, so it's a different matter. But assuming he goes for something like Lendy here, like Lendy plus Briseria, I would have gone Ed here. Because if you want your Lendy, Briseria, Silias draft, or like even just Lendy Silias, right? Just say Lendy Silias, or like Lua Lendy. If you want your draft to get any kind of tempo, and like those are tempo drafts, they live by their tempo. Like if they can't get tempo going, they're gonna lose. So if you can get tempo in your draft, you lose. So it's really important for them that Lenny can press a 3, and Silias can press a 3, and Lua can press a 3. If you have head, they can't. Like, simple as that. If you have head, they can't. They can't Lua S3 into Lenny S3, and they can't Silias S3 into Lenny S3. So you completely kill their tempo. Like, suddenly they can't press their buttons, so their tempo dies. And then you can start to get tempo yourself and win from there. So yeah, head, very good unit, but don't pick too early. Don't pick too early. Anyway. So yeah, Priban Belagan, first pick Lua, Briseria, Mage, just go head, and you can go Dilibet as well. And one thing for Dilibet, wait, where is mine? I'll show you. One very good thing for Dilibet, if you want to play Dilibet into Briseria, you need ER. You need either ER or you need immunity. But ER is better because immunity can get stripped by like Silias and stuff, right? But yeah, if you want to play Dilibet into Briseria, you need immunity. Like, you need ER, it's actually really important. Because otherwise, like, we're talking about tempo, right? Like, if I commit one pick to Dilibet, she needs to do stuff. And like, if my opponent can just S1 her with Briseria and defense break, she dies turn 1. And then we're 3v4. And then it will completely make up for the tempo they lost by not pressing a 3. So yeah. Warhorn overproof. Yeah, I like having, I don't know, I like cutting a lot with her. I feel like it's fairly important, and I don't really have any use for Warhorn, so I don't think it's mandatory, I just think it's pretty good. Like, I don't have any other use for Warhorn, so might as well, right? It's pretty good for Dilibet to cycle a lot, I feel like. Because most of the time, so when you pick Dilibet, it's always gonna be into like, your opponent's always gonna be playing high tempo. Your opponent's always gonna be playing high tempo, right? So maybe it's gonna be DDR Soli, maybe it's gonna be Pirate Flan, maybe it's gonna be Silias, maybe it's gonna be Briseria. But like, all of those units are drafted into high tempo teams, which means your opponent's gonna take a lot of turns, like a lot more than you do. So I feel like Warhorn's pretty good overall. Like, it's gonna get a lot of value during the game. But yeah, anyway. Yeah, our gear isn't that good right now though. Like, I need to mod this to HP. I need to max mod this, and I'd like more defense honestly, but yeah, we'll see. But yeah, Dilibet's pretty good right now. Honestly, Dilibet's pretty good right now. And she's a very good answer to Solitaria. Because they can't really kill her, she just keeps cleansing and she just cleans every turn and cycle a lot, so. Yeah, her imprint is insane. Like, just play her on CC neck, right? And then you put her on release, it's really good. So, I think that's it for draft review mostly, like drafting guide. So, to summarize it, a first pick needs to be neutral, like first two picks needs to be neutral always. So usually you go for Knight plus Soul Weaver if you play slow. Knight plus Soul Weaver, if you first pick, you pick a Knight or a Soul Weaver first. Then you pick Knight or Soul Weaver second, right? Like on second rotation, it's okay. Or if your second pick, you just go Knight Soul Weaver right away. For third pick, you need something that's somewhat neutral, which can be rough right now, but Belian is a good option. Pirate Flan can be a good option, honestly. Belian, Pirate Flan. Solitaria, but you need to have DC. Like, that's actually very important. You can't third pick Solitaria if you don't have DC. If you do, you can, but if you don't, you can't. Because if you don't have DC, they go LHC plus LHC or 1-9, you're gonna lose. So, yep, you need DC. But yeah, Solitaria, decent option. Belian, decent option. And if your opponent plays fast or threatens to play fast, right? Like if they went for Silias, if they went for Lua, if they went for stuff like that, but they didn't hard commit yet. Like for instance, here isn't hard committed, right? He went Silias Epoch. it's fairly obvious it's aggro, but he can still fall back, right? If he wants to, he can still fall back to a slower playstyle. Like those aren't that committed. Like they work in slower playstyle as well. So Senior is really good. If you want your opponent to slow down, basically. Yeah, she's not fully neutral, I agree. But she forces your opponent to slow down and she gives you breathing room, basically. First two, Knight Soul Weaver, doesn't matter which order, but you need to be fairly neutral. I pick Maid because she's fun and she fits my playstyle a lot, but you can just first pick Destina. Like Nico played exact same as me, except he first picked Destina Iton every game. Worked exactly the same. Like, doesn't really matter, just Knight plus Soul Weaver. Knight can change a lot as well, depending on preference and what you're facing. Tula is a good option, Crow can be a good option. Arwell is a very good option, Siamni is good, Ras is good. Iton is good, so yeah, you have a decent amount of options for Knight. Just pick whatever you want, basically. Yeah, Eula's really good, like, Eula's really good. Then, so if your first pick, so you have to commit to something on third pick, Belayan, Solitaria, if your opponent plays fast, then Senya's really good if you want them to slow down. If they overcommitted to debuffers, you can go Ed as well, it's okay. If they went for something like Ran, you can just go Ed as well, Adin as well. It's pretty good. Okay, this is for first pick. If your second pick, so you have Knight plus Soul Weaver, like you need two carries here, right? So let me see. Yeah, I'm second pick here. I picked Knight Soul Weaver 1-2. My opponent went slow, right? Like they went fairly slow. They committed to Adin on third, which is not very good, sadly. Like Adin on third is pretty bad if your opponent plays slow. So I just answer to two Ardent Third to Adin, which are Lendy and Milim. And something to keep in mind, if you want to draft RGB, you draft two of them, always. And like you need pairing that makes sense. So Milim Arya is really good. Lendy, you can go Lendy Arya, for instance, you die to Milim. Most pairing are gonna fit your Milim. Like you're gonna want Milim Arya or Milim Lendy. Like those are your best options. You can still pick Alencia Shu. I think it's still somewhat okay. I'm not that much of a fan myself, but I feel like it's okay still. Alencia Shu is a decent pairing still. The third pick, Milim like me. Yeah, but then you die to Briseria, right? Like that's the issue. But yeah, I like a third pick Milim as well from time to time. But it's really weak to Briseria right now. Unless you go for ER Milim, but it's really hard to build. But it's doable. Like you go ER Milim on Destruction with Eye Bulk, but it's really hard to build. So that's another interesting draft, right? Made first pick still. Opponent and third with two slow units. Oskizo goes for more tempo draft by going for Ras here, right? Like Ras is really high tempo, so pretty good pick. Ras Minim is very good pairing as well because he enables Minim a lot, and you can pair him. You can pick Lendy later, and it's a very good pairing as well for Ras, right? So Ras Milim, very good pick. Shu is a very obvious pick here for opponent. She kills everything in this team, so Shu very good pick. Charlotte's pretty bad though. Like it's sad to say, but Charlotte's pretty bad right now. Yeah, Charlotte was a bad pick. I like Charlotte a lot, but she's very low tempo. Like she's way too low tempo for the meta, I think. Can we see your maiden Minim? Yeah, sure thing. I'll show you right after. So yeah, Charlotte makes sense. Like it makes sense to some extent, but it's not that great of a pick, sadly. Obvious Arya Slam, she counters both of those, so fairly easy to pick, right? And then Lendy. Lendy is a kinda bold, right, to some extent, because opponent already has Charlotte, but one thing with picking Lendy, if you have Minim already, your opponent doesn't really have hard counter. Like that's something really important to understand. Red sucks. Yeah, red sucks. Red has 2 units right now. You have Milim, that's really good. and you have Ed, and Ed is only draftable into debuffers, right? So if you draft Landy Milim, what can your opponent do? And basically, what can your opponent do? You can't really pick anything. When you see blue-red, when you see green-red, usually you want to answer with red, right? Because it's neutral into red, and it's good into green. But if your opponent goes Milim Landy, what options do you have? Ravi gets... Ed doesn't work because no debuffs. Ravi sucks. Charlotte sucks. Right? Yeah, Ravi dies to Milim. Like, Milim two shots Ravi, so... Carrot is okay, honestly. Like, Carrot is one of the best options, in my opinion, but you need a fast Carrot. But if you have a fast Carrot with decent damage, I think she's a pretty good option. But she's RNG, because if you fail to land the buffs, you just lose on the spot, and she isn't that great still. So, yep. And yeah, like, Arya's a force ban always, and then the Lenny just gives too much tempo. Like, red side could have won here, don't get me wrong. Like, right side could have won here. It's kinda rough. Like, Oskidu had so much tempo going for him with Landy plus Minim plus Raz. It just overwhelmed his opponent, right? So, yep. Your option is post-ban the Landy, yeah, pretty much. Anyway, it's gonna be it for drafting guide, right? Like, we reviewed a few drafts, talked about first pick, second pick. So yeah, if you pick RGB, if your second pick, you pick RGB, and you want to pick RGB, you need to pair them. Like, you need to pick red and green, or red and blue, stuff like that. Or blue and green, and you can just pick one or the other. Because then your opponent's gonna pick twice the opposite element and you're gonna lose. And last pick you should always try to go for a force ban, obviously, but it's very obvious, but yeah. If your last pick isn't banned, your last pick is bad. It's simple as that. If you're reviewing your drafts, and your last pick isn't often banned, and you lose, your last pick sucks. So I need to work on that. But yeah, last pick though, I have to say, it's extremely unit dependent. If you don't have a good enough unit pool, which was the case for me for quite a while, I mean, I still struggle with it, but it's a bit better now. If you don't have a good enough unit pool, you won't always be able to pick a force ban for last. And it's gonna make your life really hard, but yeah, just how it is. You can't really do anything about that. What nationality? I'm French.